Good morning. It is Kirsten Liebelt. How are you doing? Wednesday morning. How are you? I would love to know. Listen, if you are on the replay, let me know that you are on the replay. If you are on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you want information that has to do with insulin resistance and how to go from resistant to sensitive so that you can actually finally lose weight and or just have better success in your life when it comes to all sorts of different pieces of insulin resistance. Insulin resistance causes wreaks so much havoc. So that's what I talk about. So every day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you guys. I come on live and we talk about this. So today I wanted to talk about the connection with anxiety, and it really like, my heart, because I do remember certain things and I forget some of the way that those things feel. Good morning, Brenda. Good to see you. Very, very fun. But I was raised by a type 2 dad, insulin dependent, injections in his belly twice a day, and his health declined rapidly. He was diagnosed at 35. I don't know if I tell this part of my story very often. Diagnosed at 35 and died at 63. That's how that went. So his health just went like this. He took the route of meds and just medical provider information, and his health just tanked. And I had a lot of obesity and diabetes in my family. I'm Italian, and so that's just the way that goes. Good morning, Magda. Good to see you. Good to see you. And that was kind of, I just thought that was how, I don't know what I thought. Sometimes I question myself, like, if I thought that it was genetic, like this is me being in third person. So it's like, so Kirsten, if you thought that it was genetic because that's what you were taught, and I'm not saying that there are not genetic predispositions, that's not what I'm saying, but if that's what you thought and you thought that it was que sera, no matter what, why were you not concerned that your life was going to look exactly like your dad's? Like all of the hospital procedures and the doctor's appointments and the heart surgeries and the pacemaker and the dialysis, and like, weren't you a little freaked out? And the answer is no. I lived a very clueless life. I don't know what my deal was. I don't know. I don't know how to figure myself out sometimes. But when I finally did deal with my insulin resistance, I was in my upper 40s, and I want everybody to hear this. You can be insulin resistant for years, decades before it shows up in your blood. So we have to stop relying on blood glucose tests to tell us squat. Yesterday I talked about Ben Bickman, Dr. Ben Bickman, and how he talks about how, yes, your glucose levels are, whatever, that's that test. But before that, they could have done a fasting insulin resistance. And actually before that, they could be running, and I've never heard of anybody having this. So I don't know if we have to ask, obviously we'd have to ask for it. It's called an adipose IR, because your fat cells are the first cells to become insulin resistant. And you can actually tell even sooner now. Anyway, all right. There you go. That's my life in a nutshell, people. So I just get very, very passionate and very excited for so many different reasons, because this is, it's rather criminal. That's something that is reversible. We do not give proper information for. So ridiculous, redonkulous. So today what I want to do is talk about that connection between Claudette. Good morning. Good to see you. I left you a message. So good to see you on here. I wanted to talk about the connection between the gut and anxiety. And the reason why is because, number one, I think that we do not understand the connection between insulin resistance and the gut, and how insulin resistance creates gut issues leading to leaky gut. So what happens is when you are, good morning, Tammy, good to see you. Good to see you. When your gut is messed up, you are leaking nutrients. And when you're leaking nutrients, nutrient deficiencies lead to bigger problems. And so sometimes plugging these holes is way easier than you thought. I'm just telling you, we do not have script deficiencies. Just process that for a second. We do not have deficiencies of scripts. We have nutrient deficiencies. So I just want people to think about that for a second. And, I'm just an Italian girl who figured it out. And that means that any one of you can figure this out because I got like a C in biology. It was not my strong suit, right? I mean, like I was not a granola researching person prior to all of this in my upper 40s. And now I'm 59, no meds, no type 2 in sight. And the targeted supplementation that I have taken this entire time now has supported and helped me to lose 3 sizes in my 50s after my cycle stopped. So that's why I love to share, because not only that, but then there are all those other really amazing side benefits. Like I have a customer who got off of 2 BP meds this summer. I have people whose Dawn phenomenon is under control. Like they drop 30 points in their sugars in the morning. Things that I never expected to get all of this data on that I now have. So life is very good. So good morning. Thank you so much for everybody that's on TikTok coming from the balcony. If you're in the balcony, I get very excited to have people on TikTok because you guys, I know that like if I ask you to tap the screen or to share information, you guys do that for me and it gets out into the FYP. And I'm very, very grateful for that. So let's just talk about this for a second, because I remember, perimenopause and you hit your 40s, and I'm very convinced that women are in their 40s. They're sliding and they're insulin resistant and they don't even know it. And it's literally causing them to not be able to lose weight. And there's no connection. Nobody's teaching this. Everybody else, not meaning nobody other than me. I mean, like, certainly it's not coming from the medical community. If it is, it's not common. And that's why we are collectively very frustrated. So instead, we're taught things like this. You just have to, it's just all about calories. It's just all about calories. Or, if you just count your points, or, if you just live in calorie deficit, same thing. But, if you just go to the gym and you do more cardio, that's the answer. And actually none of that is helpful. And if that was working, we'd all be skinny. If that was working, if calorie in, calorie out was the conversation, we'd all be skinny. But instead, that's not true. This is a hormonal conversation. Insulin is a hormone. Cortisol is a hormone. It's a hormonal issue. And when we treat it as such, we finally get results. When we can plug the hole, so to speak, of insulin resistance, we can shift so that we don't have the gut issues as much, right? We have to turn back, go back, go back. Go back. Like we need to go from insulin resistant. Actually, I'll put it out here. Insulin resistant to insulin sensitive. Go back, bring it in, rein it back in, because your cells are very resistant and you're not getting the energy you need. If it's messing up your gut, then you're leaking nutrients, making more issues. And pretty much the entire universe is now connected to insulin resistance. OMG. It's a little shocking. And how is this not the number one conversation every single day? I don't know. I guess it is in my world, but coming from literally every morning show should be talking about this. But okay, I know I'm a little obnoxious on that. So what can you do for your gut? Let's do a gut conversation, because if you have had low level anxiety, or if you do deal with that, this is one way that you can shift that. And then I'll tell you what I do when I'm done with, I want to get you the technical information first. Basically, when I was in perimenopause, I, of course, had zero understanding. I was very disconnected from my body. I had zero understanding that insulin was a hormone, blah, blah, blah. I was just living my best, eat everything, anything that I want life, right? All processed foods, blah, blah, blah. And I think that what was interesting to me was that I started to feel a little bit of that sadness, that D word kind of hit me. And it was reminiscent of after I had babies. And I was like, what's going on? I don't like that. But at the exact same time, I was noticing that low level, it's like right under the surface, that anxiety, that kind of makes you feel a little panicky, a little bit, just kind of on the fringes, just on the edges. And I'm like, what is that? Like, maybe we become nervous Nellies, maybe we would call that, or something like that. We're nervous Nellies, or we kind of have a faster panic mode, or whatever it is. And we're just like, it's literally hormones. But insulin resistance leads to leaky gut, and you have nutritional deficiencies, and you have inflammation in your gut. Your gut is your brain axis, your gut brain axis. So this is where we're going to go with this now. Okay. Yeah, the gut brain health is real, Carla says. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Carla. Carla, I am here. Hello, everyone. Insulin resistance is the enemy. Go back to the woods. Your diagnosis is no good. Oh my gosh. So true, Carla. It's so true. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so like, sometimes I feel like I'm it's like you're a grain of sand on a very large beach, like, because the noise of the matrix that wants to sell you scripts is much larger, louder, and that's how that goes. So we have to be our own advocates. So if you're on content like this, God bless you. You are actually taking steps to take back your body and be your own advocate. So here we go. Let's dive in. So gut health and anxiety are closely linked through what's called the gut-brain axis, a communication system between your digestive tract and your brain. The gut houses trillions of microbes, some of which are responsible for producing neurotransmitters like serotonin, your feel-good hormone, right? Which play a role in mood regulation. So, when we're moody and, kind of pissy, and people are like, oh, menopause is men on pause, all that BS that we get, and we don't get actual help. This stuff helps me to understand that this is a biological conversation, and we need to stop accepting that that's going to be our position, that life is just going to suck. Oh, it's just going to be terrible. You're just going to have to brace yourself. Come on. We live in 2024. There's no reason why we can't have more simple answers to this for us as women, so that we can function at a higher level in society. When your gut health is compromised, it can lead to imbalances in these microbes, triggering inflammation, stress hormones, and ultimately anxiety. Poor diet, chronic stress, and inflammation can all negatively impact your gut and in turn your mental health. When you start taking, gut products, a few important things happen to help ease anxiety. I specifically take a gut primer now, and that just got launched, but amazing. But a probiotic, a gut primer, you can restore your gut lining. You can balance your microbiome. You can improve your nutrient absorption. You can regulate your neurotransmitters, and you can have a better stress response. All right. Now, when it comes to like the things that you could, why is our gut so messed up? What happened? Why are we so messed up? Number one, eating too much processed foods. I just don't think we are connecting. And we're so mindlessly eating now. It's really interesting how I don't want to go down that road. That'll take me down I don't want to do that. But it's interesting to me how, because don't you remember, or hasn't this ever happened to you where you're like, okay, I'm going to start my new food program. And without even thinking it, maybe you're working on, something, I don't know, you're working on your computer, and you mindlessly start eating the same things that you were eating. And you aren't even thinking about it. And it's just so ingrained in us, and we're not pausing, right? And being mindful and all that good stuff. Well, we're eating too much processed food, high in sugar, unhealthy fats, all those seed oils, additives, preservatives, things that are so harmful to our gut by feeding harmful bacteria and promoting inflammation. So our guts are like, that's what our guts are doing. Okay. Number two, overuse of antibiotics. Frequent or unnecessary use of antibiotics wipe out both of the harmful and the beneficial gut bacteria, leading to imbalances. Number three, chronic stress. I would say this is so high on the list, you guys. If we cannot fix our sleep, if we cannot fix our chronic stress, you guys, I just don't know. Oh man. I don't think I have I'll have to wait and see. Okay, I'll have to wait and see. My lower power mode went on my phone. I just don't think that we are assessing stress in our lives. Cheryl, good to see you. Good to see you. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. If you are not sleeping, do not take that lightly. It is raising your cortisol, your stress hormone, and it's raising your insulin resistance for the next day. Don't live like that. Don't live in fight or flight mode all the time. Your adrenals can't handle it. Your body was not meant to live in that level of stress. You have to find the things that can really help you simmer down. Okay. Lack of fiber. A diet low in fiber deprives beneficial gut bacteria of the fuel that it needs to thrive, weakening the gut lining and microbiome diversity. And the last one is overuse of alcohol. Excessive alcohol consumption irritates the gut lining, leads to inflammation, and disrupts the balance of healthy bacteria. And I would say that generally alcohol is, it is poisonous to our system, no matter whether you're drinking a little bit or a lot of it. And I feel like this whole wine culture that we had going for a while, I don't know if we still do. I'm just not privy to it. Where, moms are just drinking wine at the end of the day. It's been such a hard day and we're going to drink wine. We're going to have wine parties and wine clubs. And in the meantime, we're just wrecking ourselves on so many different levels. I'm not meaning to go down that road, but I mean, wine can be high in sugar, but it can also be very hard inflammatory on your gut. I mean, there's so many things. That's why alcohol is literally considered a depressant. It brings you down. So just be thinking about those things. But this is what you can do to help your gut when it comes to food. You meant to congratulate Magda on her good report from the doctor the other day. You go, girl. That's so nice of you, Carla. That is so nice of you. I love that you do that. You guys are amazing. So these are the things that you can start. Good morning, Anna. Oh, Anna. God bless you, girl. Thank you. Anna's in the house on TikTok. So these are the 5 top foods that you could be eating to help your gut. Okay. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut. I'm not a fermented person. Rich in probiotics, these foods replenish your beneficial bacteria in the gut. Number 2, fiber-rich vegetables. So your leafy greens, your broccoli, your sprouts. Fiber feeds good bacteria, promoting a healthy gut and diverse microbiome. Number 3, bone broth. Rich in collagen and amino acids, bone broth helps repair the gut lining and reduces inflammation. And I would say, you know what? Make it yourself. Don't buy bone broth. I mean, you can. I know there are good products out there, but I don't want people making watered down decisions. And I know that not every company is doing that, but there's just so much room in there for marketing of something and them giving you a droplet of something that's good. I don't know. Maybe I'm being super skeptical. Thank you. Thank you. Wendy, good morning, Kirsten. I'm going to try your gut products. I don't think I'm absorbing your nutrients. You'll order soon. Yeah. Thank you, Wendy. And I'll talk about what I'm taking and what other people can choose to take. I'm meaning because for instance, I have 2 probiotics and stuff, but yeah, I'm telling you what, you guys, I don't want to turn my content into only talking about the gut, but you got to get your gut straight. You have to, we are in a crisis in our gut situation. It's a big deal. So anyway, okay. Bone broth, rich in collagen and amino acids. And understand that when you're talking about beef bone broth, beef is highly, highly nutrient dense, and it has an amino profile that's almost identical to your muscles. Those amino acids, that's what people are missing out on when they aren't doing beef. You're missing out on so much. And collagen comes from animals. I know they have plant collagens. I kind of question that. I don't quite understand that whole thought process. But the collagen that I take, I actually whisk mine into my gut primer. I have a collagen packet that I use. But collagen, man, another layer for your gut. It's another layer for your gut. Think about when they say bone broth. If I take bone broth and I put it in a packet, this is my collagen packet. If I take this and I put this into my gut primer and I zhuzh it up, right? This is kind of like concentrated bone broth in that thought process because it's made from cows. That's where that collagen is coming from. Anyway, berries. I love berries. I've been picking berries at my daughter's place. They're automatically organic because she doesn't spray with anything. And so her raspberries are in perfect bloom right now, and they are second harvest. So it's very exciting. Berries, high in antioxidants and fiber. See, just think about this. Eat real food. You're going to get your fiber. Eat real food. You're going to get your, nutrients. Eat real food. You're going to have the things that you need for your body to begin to thrive. Do I supplement? Yes, I do. I'm very targeted with my supplementing because I want to be able to go from insulin resistant to insulin sensitive. That's what's helped me lose 3 sizes. But if you can just eat real food, like you don't have to. Okay. I say that because when I think about fiber, I think about constipation. That's another conversation we could have. You don't want impacted waste that is toxic in your body sitting there all the time. So do things that are simple, like eat your greens specifically, not all the starchy vegetables. That's not helping your insulin resistance. Eat your greens, or my husband actually adds our greens to the gut primer. He loves that. He's funny. He adds greens to his fermented greens, but that's what he does. And get your greens and think about having a magnesium citrate blend to help you with any constipation. Like, you can do things naturally. You don't have to have scripts for all this stuff. If you're taking an acid reflux, just change your diet. Just telling you, it'll heal. Think about it. If you're healing your gut, don't you think that's going to help the reflux? Yes. Okay. Berries, garlic, and onions are the last one. Prebiotic rich foods that feed beneficial bacteria, including a balanced microbiome and gut health. So the top foods are fermented, fiber-rich vegetables, bone broth, berries, garlic, and onions. Those are some of the top things that can help you with your gut. Simple, 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 right? We overcomplicate things. We feel like everything is so mountainous and so huge. It's being mainly because we have a lot of information at our disposal all the time. Like, we can have information in front of our eyes 24/7. And so it does get noisy. And so you do have to follow like a line. I'm a very narrow conversationalist, and I am not for everybody, but I will talk about the exact same thing all the time. I'm just steady as she goes. We're going to talk about insulin resistance and how it is the precursor to everything, and how if you can turn back your insulin resistance over time with some patience, with some grace and no shame, when done properly, you can take targeted supplementation and ingredient trade-outs and totally change your world, and everything else begins to follow. Your sleep gets better, your energy gets better, your BP gets better, your digestive tract gets better. Your, like, everything is connected to everything. Insulin resistance is connected to PCOS, gout, type 2 diabetes, etc. So you can see that the domino effect of what happens from insulin resistance, if you can start to like pull that back in and reverse, you can imagine how then your life quality and function is just increasing and increasing and increasing. That's how that goes. Thank you so much, Miss Never Too Late. I know you sent that a while ago, but I so appreciate you. Can you make gravy with beef bone broth? Yes, you can, Carla. Yes, you can. So you can do a couple of different things with to thicken any kind of a gravy. So just think about this for a second. All right. Let's do a little talking about food, and then I'll tell you about the gut stuff that I've been taking. If you could do it one of two ways. When you do like a turkey at Thanksgiving time and you get all the juices from your turkey, you can add xanthan gum. It starts with an X, Xanthan, xanthan gum, and a little bit goes a long way. And you can use that to thicken your gravy instead of white flour. You could take bone broth, so let's just pretend you even made your own. Just put it in your Instant Pot. You can look it up online, Google it, how many hours. You're just putting bones in there with some liquid, and you're literally just cooking it forever. And you're sucking all of that yummy, amazing, the dense nutrients out of the bones, the collagen, etc. So once you have that, and that's so healing for your gut, again, you could actually use that and, you could probably take, I wonder if like my powder collagen, I wonder if that wouldn't actually help thicken. Like this is just coming to me right now. I bet it would. Or you could also make a gravy in terms of like, you could use the bone broth and you can use Parmesan cheese and a little bit of cream cheese if you want a creamy gravy like that. That's another way to thicken a gravy without using white flour. Or like I was saying the other day, the taco packets, they're trash. Like you have got to search a little harder to find a good taco seasoning that doesn't have just crap in it. Because most of the American Mexican food like that, they add a lot of cornstarch and they add a lot of corn flour and all sorts of stuff, all sorts of MSG and whatever. But when you can find those trade outs, that makes such a difference. It's the same thing with any kind of gravies that you buy in a jar or any kind of gravy packets. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Like, do it yourself. Do it yourself. I will take cream, pepper, garlic powder, and like Parmesan cheese, the real shaved Parmesan cheese that you can get like at Costco. Or if you're looking at your Parmesan cheese on your shelves, maybe up on the top shelf, it'll be a little bit more expensive, but it tastes really good. It's amazing. It doesn't have that cellulose caking stuff in it. And use that to thicken. And I will use that as a sauce on like shrimp or like if I cut up steak or whatever, like do beef tips or something, because meat, seafood, eggs are going to not spike your sugars. And then if you add just a little bit of a sauce or a gravy like that with bone broth, man. Anyway, and when you do it, Carla, I want to hear about how it turned out. I want to hear about that because isn't that just the best? You know, that you can actually do that for yourself. That's really the best. Okay, now I'm going to go into, I'm going to tell you exactly what I do. And in fact, I'm just going to show you what I do. So, because I have not taken this yet today. Every single morning, this is how I start out my morning. So I have been taking a probiotic for a very long time. And again, remember when you reverse what's going on in your gut, just know that there's just a lot of fighting going on. This is how I visualize things in your gut. Things are just really fighting. So when we are transitioning our foods, and remember I talk about food ingredient trade-outs all the time, when we're transitioning our foods and we haven't really transitioned fully yet, and we're still like I would reward myself with sweet potato fries from Red Robin. Those were my favorite. Well, they're being cooked in seed oils. I'm not confused. Or you go to Chick-fil-A and you have the grilled chicken nuggets and you're still dipping them in the chicken sauce, in the Chick-fil-A sauce, sugar and seed oils, like you're making those compromises. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Yep. So as you're doing that, you're still like, you're trying to get the scales to tip. You're trying to get it to be like fill up this scale of the goodness to eventually override what's going on, right? Like this is the journey that you're on. And this is why it can feel so frustrating that it's this kind of a journey. Like, why can't this be fixed right now? Why can't we just fix things overnight? Why can't I see my weight loss overnight? Why can't I see my sugars go down right now? Why does it have to take so long? Why is my inflammation still there? Why am I still on BP meds? Why am I still... It's because it's a journey. Your body is trying to recalibrate. So let's help your body recalibrate. That's exactly what it's been the process of what I've been doing. So am I a perfect ingredient eater? I am not. And I know that I make choices. Like if I go out to have, I always use like a coffee recommendation. Like if I'm in a Maria Emmerich group, they don't even recommend coffee because coffee is a bean. And if it's not organic, you're really not. And it's true. It's like, that's right. Organic coffee is really important. Dang it. You know, or a sugar-free syrup for like, you know, you're going to do a sugar-free caramel breve or something like that. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or, it's not organic. It's not this. It's not that. All of those things. I understand. And there are people on healing journeys that they have to be very, very strict. So I'm always constantly just making better decisions, just like you are. Just like you are. We are the same. I've just been doing this a little longer. That's all. Okay. So if I'm wanting to work on my gut, they launched this gut primer. Okay, what does a gut primer do? I'll show you like this, you guys. So a gut primer, what it does is this actually has in it. So for somebody who wants to just do something quickly, like this is, I didn't put that much water in it because I really don't, I'm not a tea person, and this tastes a lot like tea. Now my husband mixes this with the greens that we have that are sweeter, and he's like all over that. He was like, I love that taste. And I'm like, you are weird. But he also likes he grew up on a farm and they would chew on alfalfa. I'm not saying this tastes like alfalfa, but I am just saying like there's a supplement that we have that is when you chew it, it's an adaptogenic herb. It's very like grass like that. Like he's like, he loves it because it has a hint of lemon balm in it. I mean, I know I'm telling you guys, I'm giving you too much information on this, but he loves that flavor. So some people like tea. I'm not a tea drinker. So I just go ahead and I mix this in. This is my gut primer and this is what's in here. So listen to this. A prebiotic, fermented greens. So the fermented greens are already in here. Digestive enzymes, alkaline spices. Do you remember the other day we were talking about acidic urine and kidney stones? Alkaline spices. Postbiotics, and the postbiotics are 2 different strains, and then fruit extracts, fruit and vegetable extracts for the fiber. So they're extracting the fiber and putting it in there. Now, one thing that's not in here that you'll notice, Anna. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Kristen. Good to see you. I don't know how long you've been on, but good morning. I love seeing you guys over there. One thing that it doesn't have in here, and I want you to pay attention to how important this is. It actually does not have it does not have a probiotic in it. Probiotics. So if you're buying a gut primer and it has a probiotic in it, the probiotic might not be making it to your gut to do what it needs to do. I'm just telling you the truth. They're very sensitive. Postbiotics, not as sensitive. Probiotics, sensitive. That's why, like, when I take my probiotic, it's like it has a stay alive technology to stay alive in your gut. It has a stick to your gut technology. Like, that's kind of important. So I take this. I add my collagen to this, but I think I am going to try to use my collagen for a, I don't know, you can't see me on Facebook here. There we go. To thicken something that would be very interesting. So anyway, so I do this because I'm a functional person. You have to know your own personality. I'm a very functional person. I want to just get this done. Like, I'm not looking to sip. I'm not looking to relax with my gut primer. I'm not looking to do any of that. That's not me at all. I do not drink tea in the afternoons. I feel like Dr. Seuss. I do not drink tea in the mornings. I do not drink tea in the afternoons. I do not drink tea before I go to bed. That is who I am. Like, seriously, it's not my thing. So anyway, so I just go ahead and I down this. You just bought an electronic whisker, like kind of like this, you mean? Like a little frother? And it tastes like tea. It just tastes like tea. And so it's not my thing. But you can kind of taste the spiciness because of the alkaline spices. So it has that little bit of that ginger on the back on the taste. Oh, very cool. Both my husband and I, we use this thing every single day to whip stuff up. Then what I do is I go in and I take my probiotic because I don't want it to be a part of it. Okay. Now I'm going to take this, but I am going to tell you, if you know you have a lot of stress and you are really trying to do, like, this is 5 strains with a prebiotic is what this is. If you need a stress probiotic because your cortisol is high, you're just kind of living in fight or flight, you know your gut is just, it's a little bit of a hot mess, then you might want to ask me about the stress probiotic. It's a pill. It's not a powder. And that it has very special ingredients. It has a very special extract that will help with the stress of your gut. It's just powder. It does not have a berry taste or anything like that. Very, almost tastes like cereal, like the powder at the base of a cereal box. It's kind of what it tastes like. It's very interesting in that way. So does what taste good, Wendy? Which one? The primer tastes like tea with a little bit of ginger. So if you like tea, yes. I do not like tea. I would not sit and sip this. I down it. I like the benefits more than I like the taste. My husband likes it. He likes green things. I feel like that's kind of the deciding factor for people. You either like green stuff or you don't. But I do have customers right now. What they're doing is they're adding different things. You could use a liquid stevia, a flavored liquid stevia, and you could just squirt something in there. You could add it to your protein shake that you're making in the morning. You could add it to, whatever. I mean, there are a few things that you could be doing. Because again, it doesn't have the probiotic in it. So you can whip it up in a blender and not delete your probiotic effects. So it has more room to move, so to speak. You're very interested in the stress one that I mentioned, Becky. I will send that to you, Becky, when I get off of here. Yeah, like tea. Yes. Stress probiotic. Yep, Laura, I will send that to you. Very seriously, you guys, it's like, so what happens then? I'm going to back up just a second. When you take a primer, this is a daily GI primer, gastrointestinal primer. A primer is like when you put a primer on your face before your foundation, or you put a primer on your wall before you paint. You're setting the stage of your gut. So now all of the supplements that you take, the food that you eat has a better chance of absorbing. You're bringing down that inflammation. You're completely setting the stage. Now the probiotic that you're taking is working better. Everything you're doing. So it's kind of like this stair-step system of let's get to the core and then let's begin to kind of like cycle on top of that, everything else that you need, because it is simple deficiencies. I mean, one of the things that is very stunning is how deficient we are in vitamin D3. Stunning. And what an easy answer, right? D3, D3K2 is actually extremely helpful for people who are diabetic. Can you imagine that such a simple thing we become deficient in? And why is that? Well, I mean, if you live north of Kansas City and I'm in Minnesota, we're kind of deficient because we don't get enough sun. But then when we do get sun, what do they tell us to do? Slather sunscreen on us all the time. Like, don't get sun. That it's ridiculous. Like, God gave us answers and then we just don't. So we're very deficient sometimes in very basic things. So when I talk about like vitamin D3, like the vitamin D3 that I have in my line, you guys, 30 cents a day. But do you want to know why that matters? Like 30 cents a day, you're like, oh, that's cool. It's only 30 cents a day. 30 cents a day sourced from mushrooms, not synthetic. I want people to understand, like, there's a difference. And when you go to a provider and they write you out a script for a supplement, who do you think is making the supplement? If you're having a supplement filled by a pharmacy, just follow the money. Follow the money. Yes, Caitlin, this will be available. And you can also message me right there in Messenger. But yeah, all of my replays sit. I don't know what you're watching on Facebook. I can see. So you're either on my personal page or you're on my business page. My personal page is Kirsten Fragale Liebelt. And then my business page is Kirsten Liebelt. So either one, I'll check both of them. But yes, the replay will be sitting right there at the top of my page, just like a wall, just like your normal Facebook wall. So yes, you're welcome, Becky. You're so welcome. So if anybody wants, I can put a cart together. If you want a cart, I can put the gut primer in there. I can put the powdered probiotic. I can put the stress probiotic, and people can choose what you want. You don't have to take what's in the cart. You can choose what's in the cart and put it into your own cart. So I can put together a cart. Is there anything else that you want me to put into a cart? I think those three are probably the ones. unless you want the collagen in there. But if nobody wants that, but if you want the cart, you can just put gut health cart in the comments on Facebook, and I'll do those 3 products. I'll do the primer and the 2 stress probiotics, or the stress and the balance, and people can choose for themselves. But I'm telling you, calibrate your gut. It'll make such a difference. And think about the medications that we're taking for being anxious. Think about that. I'm just saying, like, it just, my heart gets so like, when you start taking scripts because you're anxious, or you start taking scripts because you are sad, those are messing up your gut further. So now you're in a cycle. So any script that you're taking, I've heard it said that every single script you take creates a nutritional deficiency. Like, this is not a good path for us to be on. This is not a good cycle for us to be on. So if you're taking ibuprofen over the counter, if you're taking a narcotic because you had surgery, if you've had anesthesia, if you are taking a script for acid reflux, if you're taking, those are terrible. But anyway, if you're taking a script because of it's your thyroid, or your sugars are high, or you are on an injection, or you are you started feeling kind of anxious because your hormones went wonky and you don't know what to do with that. And so now you're maybe on an anti-anxiousness, whatever. All of these things are creating this cycle. And if we do not pause, if we do not just pause and go, okay, I'm just going to take, let's just even say until the end of the year, take it one step at a time. And I know that's a tall order because we've got the holidays, but I'm just going to take it one step at a time, and I'm going to start working on my gut. And I'm going to get my gut realigned so that I actually can absorb all of the things that I need to absorb. And that's where, in my opinion, that's where getting into the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, that's the group that I have, I'm able to teach the ingredient trade-outs. I'm able to teach you recipes. I'm able to teach you things so that you can begin to make those better decisions, so that you're not eating all of the crap at the fast food or the boxed food, or that you're getting out of the freezer section or whatever. And remember yesterday, Dr. Ben Binkman, when he was Bickman, I always want to say Bink, Dr. Ben Bickman, when I was talking about his information yesterday, how when you bring down your insulin, you can actually lose fat. Like, you can shrink your fat cells. And he's talking about no bags, no boxes, no barcodes. That is such a great sentence, because when you sit down, like, if you've ever wondered what to eat for breakfast, if you're not eating cereal, eat eggs and steak. Give yourself permission. Have a steak and a couple eggs, and just sit with that for a while and realize that follow the thought process. If bone broth is healing, red meat is also healing, because the bone broth is coming from the meat. And so meat is actually very anti-inflammatory. It's actually very, the amino acid profile, the nutrition density of, like, let's say red meat. I understand it's been demonized. I get it. I'm not confused. And of course there's trash red meat. Of course there is. Like, we're not stupid, are we? I have a half a cow coming in November, grass-fed, and we put it in our freezer, and then that's what we use for the year. And I know not everybody does that, but I'm just telling you, like, you can begin to think differently and different answers will come to you. That's how that happens. You start to put things into your head of, like, gosh, I wonder what that would be like, to buy a quarter of a cow, or to buy a quarter of a cow and split it with my sister, or something, whatever. You start to get ideas then that come to you. That was a little divergence. But anyway, you have so much inflammation, your hip surgery may be canceled. Oh, Cheryl, I'm so sorry. So sorry. I hate that for you. Oh, what will be lunch today? You confirmed the deficiency. Okay, hold on. I got to go back. Okay, Claudette, you want the collagen. So you were prescribed D2 and on it for so many decades. You stopped and switched to D3K2. Yep. Too late though. Wow. D2 is sky high. So I stopped all vitamin D and only taking K2 to calm things down. That's fascinating. That is interesting. So your levels are off. That's a good level to know, Cheryl. Really good level to know. You have so many, yeah. I'm sorry about that. My mom had hip replacement surgeries. So she ended up having about 5 of them in her lifetime because she had issues like one, like whatever. She started early. So sometimes, like if you fall and then whatever, you have to have it reinserted or something. Yeah, majorly off. Yeah. Isn't that interesting, Cheryl? I'm so glad that you're getting your labs though, so that you know those things. What was the name of the Facebook group you mentioned? Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And I'm going to show you this right here. Here, I'll show you my site so that you can see it, because you can find a Facebook blue button. So I usually don't do this, but I'm going to do this today. So my first and last name, kirstenliebelt.com. Okay. That's my site. It's a 1-page site. When you get on there, this is what it looks like. It's my before and after picture. Okay. And then, I have to use this. I have to remember when you scroll up like this, well, it's going to, I got to look at this from a different angle for you guys. That's going to look different for you guys. Because I'm on if you're on your phone, it's all going to be in one line. And when you go down, button number 1 is like a personal message. Button number 2 is the trio, the 3 supplements that help with insulin resistance. That's what has helped me go from resistant to sensitive and lose 3 sizes. That's button number 2. And I have a short little 2-minute video there for you. And I have some testimonials. I actually put some testimonials on there, about a dozen of them, you guys. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. Scroll up, whatever, and you're going to get to the Facebook blue button. And it literally will say Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women Facebook group. Click on that. The banner is going to change because I'm going to put an October banner on there. But for right now, it looks like this. Here. This was the September banner. Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. So get in there. You will get, it might not be immediate because it takes time, because every day people get in there. Every day. We're almost at 5,000 women now. But you will get tagged in a recipe PDF. It's free. And it'll have some pantry ideas and some recipes and snacks. And then every month we do a challenge. We do a 5-day challenge in there. And that's my equipping portion, because I don't want to just have a business that sells products. I want to teach people how to fish. I want to help you, because I needed that help when I was starting my journey I was right around 51. I'm 59 now. 51 and Italian. And I didn't know how to do any of this. I didn't know how to supplement. I didn't know how to be on a routine. I didn't know how to change out an ingredient. I didn't know nothing. And I'm still every day I learn something new. I'm on my learning journey, just like you guys are. And I just say it all the time. We're the same. I'm not an expert. I'm just somebody who's a geek that looks this stuff up and wants everybody to know what I know, because it is, it literally shifts your entire life. The joy that I get from hearing from you guys, where your life has shifted, where you've had a victory over how you're maybe spending time with your grandkids, or you're able to get on a plane and be comfortable and not use a seatbelt extender. Or I have a friend who, it's not because of me, she did it for herself. She used the same product line here with the same things we're talking about, and she lost 40 pounds in the last 75 days. 40 pounds in the last 75 days. And she's doing the exact same thing. Targeted supplementation and changing all her food ingredients. So I get to help women compress time, and it's a really good thing. What day is the October challenge? You may have to go into work for a division meeting. Oh man, it's October 14th is the first day of the challenge. That's our 17th challenge, our 17th one. Isn't that amazing? I should actually look on my website and see. I will send anybody who said something on Facebook, but I am going to look up and see if it might be on my website. The gut health cart. Let me see what I have in my gut health cart. That way you don't have to wait for me if you don't want to. Okay, let me look. Here we go. So number 2 is the trio. That's for insulin resistance. You definitely are probably interested in that. Number 4 is the gut health cart. Let me see what I've got in there. I don't think I have the primer in there yet, which is my bad. I do not. Yes, I do. I do. The one that I don't have in there is the stress probiotic. So you can add that. I'll add that when I get off right now. So the gut primer is in there. The collagen is in there. It's on that page. The fish oil is very anti-inflammatory. You want wild caught supplements, just like you want your fish that you buy in the grocery store. And it has the probiotic that I take, the powder, and a digestive enzyme for anybody that's trying to deal with that. If you have acid reflux, consider the digestive enzyme. And then of course, it's the gut conversation, right? Because your gut's off. That you have the acid in your gut is not properly managed, right? So anyway, all right. Yippee, 10, 10, 24, happy. Yay, good. I'm so glad you can make it, Cheryl. You're so sweet. Let me know too about your inflammation when you find out stuff. I'm sorry. So stinky. You love all the challenges. Thank you so much for sharing and being there for us. You're welcome. What is the challenge? So Lori, great question. Lori says, thank you for the tape measure and the tea. Okay. So you guys, every order that goes out this month in September, okay. Every order, I forget to just tell you stuff that I'm doing. Every order, you're going to get a tape measure. I have many different colors. And the reason why is because weighing yourself can be very mentally challenging on your head, on your mental health, right? But also too, it's such a bad gauge of anything. Measure yourself. Because that is you're trying to lose fat, not weight. Fat. You want your fat pockets to go away. Like I've lost so much fat pocket on my arm right here, that icky, you get those little pockets, right? That's only one area. Like that's because I'm from here on up online, right? But the inside of my knees, fat has released from there, your belly fat, your back fat, like fat shows up in places you're not happy about. That's why you have to measure and not use the scale. The scale might tell you you're losing pounds, but those could be pounds of impacted waste. They could be pounds with toxins and water, or it could be your muscle, depending upon how you're eating. So the challenge, Lori, is in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And it's a 5-day challenge where I take you through ingredient trade outs. I do a pantry and a fridge reveal. I do like a recipe at the end of the week. This last month, what we did was we did Maria Emmerich's refried beans, which is, she's making it out of either zucchini or eggplant. And I did both. I actually like the zucchini better. That was me. Amazing, you guys. Like, I know that sounds crazy pants. Like, how could that possibly work? That's why I do Maria Emmerich stuff, because she's a genius. She's really creative with her ingredient trade outs. So that's what the challenge is. I hope that makes sense. And then the tea that I sent was, it's an organic mint tea. That's another level of help for digestion, Lori. It's the organic ginger mint tea, and it tastes like Christmas in a freaking cup. That's what that tastes like. If you're a peppermint person, a mint person, it is so good. It is a tea. That is a tea that I will drink. That is the only tea I like. Look at there. That is the tea that I like because it does taste like Christmas in a cup, in my opinion. And it's organic and it's really good for your digestion. The ingredients in it are helping your digestion on another level. Anyway, you're taking the fish and the turmeric. Good. I just want your inflammation better. You switched from high carb and bad ingredients to products that had keto on the labels, and that still didn't realize, and you still didn't realize the ingredients were not healthy. Thanks, Kirsten, for the correct information. You are amazing. And I like my cheerfully aqua colored tape measure. I'm so glad, Carla. I'm going to put your message up there. Thank you, Carla. You're so encouraging. So I sent her, see, now I'm not, did I send you this one? I think I sent you this one, Carla, this one, right? Because there is a teal one, but I think I was out of the teal. So I don't think I did the teal. But anyway, I love these. Mary, do you want a tape measure? What color do you want, Mary? You're such a good customer. I'm trying to think if I sent you one. I'd have to look at my list. I don't think I have. Let me see, Mary. Nope. I have not. And I have to sit down and send out another round. So you need a tape measure. So you're ordering tape. Wendy, what color do you want? I have blue. This is the aqua that I sent to Carla. So we're going to go aqua. I have teal. I'm telling you, you guys, I threw away my scale 5 years ago. I threw it away. I have pink. I have yellow. And then I have two whites. One white with black numbers and one white with red numbers. Okay, so Mary wants teal. Set that aside for Mary. I'm going to write that down. Mary, teal. Okay. And then Wendy. Bye, Carla. Have a good day. Okay. Okay. There we go. You guys are so cute. I know, Cheryl. But you know what? We're going to just believe for healing in your body because God can help you make up time. It's not everything is solely dependent upon what we do. Sometimes we need God to just touch us and to heal us a little faster. So we're going to believe that your inflammation is going to go down faster. You want teal too. Teal it is, Wendy. I got you down, girl. Okay. You guys are so fun. Okay. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. All right. So again, you guys, if you need help with anything with your gut, if that's where you want to start right now, you're like, okay, that's it. I'm going to do something about my gut. You can either go to my site, my first and last name, kirstenliebelt.com. My name is Kirsten, not Kri, Kirsten. And then my last name is Liebelt, but it looks like lie, like you lie down, and belt like you have on your pants. So it's Kirsten Liebelt is what it looks like, .com. And button number 4 has the gut health. If you want to just look at what those products are. I'm going to do some updating on that particular button today. But if you just want to talk to me, you're like, you know what? I just want you to put a couple things in a cart for me. You want a little bit like closer customer service because maybe, you think maybe you might have a question. You're not sure. No problem. There's never any pressure, you guys. People are either they resonate with me or they don't. And that's perfect. And I really, honestly, I believe so much in what I'm doing. I am so not confused. And I am so blessed to be able to talk to somebody and go, listen, you have a 6-month guarantee. When I say no risk, I mean no risk. Like it doesn't get less risk than a 6-month guarantee. Nobody else is doing that. So I have no confusion. And so I'd be more than happy to put something customized together for somebody. Pray for Cheryl. Everybody's going to pray for Cheryl. Thank you, Wendy. You're going to order something today too. You started having gut health problems in your early 40s, Becky. Yep, I understand. So Becky, do you want me to send you a gut health cart? I think you said, Becky, just correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to jump off and then not have asked you. Do you want the gut primer and the stress probiotic? Is that what you want in a cart? I'll let you answer that. And then if anybody else needs anything, please reach out to me. So on Instagram, that means that you can get right into my inbox. When you go to my profile on Instagram, there's a message button. On TikTok, I can't send anything clickable, like lame, but that's the way it is. So you can go to my profile right up here, and then my face will come up right here again, and you can click on that. It takes you to my profile. There's an Instagram icon. You can portal over, or there's a number there and you can text me. Have a good day, Mary. See you later. Okay, Becky, I will do that. I will do the stress and the gut primer, and you can look at both of those. Okay, so there you go. And you're going to head over to your website as soon as the live is over. Okay, Becky, that sounds great. I'm trying to think. You know what, though? Okay, you do that. I'm going to jump off and I'm going to immediately work on that button because my stress probiotic is not on there. So I'm going to put it on there and make sure that you can see it. But then I'll also make sure that I follow up with you. So no worries. No worries. So you guys have a super blessed day. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And if you need anything, just let me know. You know where to find me. Like, I'm here. Like, I could say like a bad penny, but I don't like that because there are no bad pennies. And I don't want to be connected to anything negative. So like a really good, I don't even know. I can't be that creative. Bye, Kristen. You're so sweet. Oh, hearts on Instagram. All right, you guys are awesome. See y'all later. Have a good day.